of the 1982 Escort Championships, and indeed a very foggy VFL park tonight. So ball handling is going to be quite difficult, not only because of the fog, but also because of the fact that a lot of dew is already on the grass surface here at the park. Both teams have come out onto the ground considerably early. They've been out now for about 10 minutes, and it's going to be a very hard-fought match. It's interesting looking back through the records that since night football was revived here in 1977, these two sides have met twice. St Kilda has won them both. What will happen tonight? Well, first of all, let's go down to the respective dressing rooms to check on any team changes. Here's Jack Edwards.
Well, thank you very much, Peter. Well, the same 20 will represent St Kilda this evening. Interchange players will be Michael Blease and Simon Meehan. That's for St Kilda. And there are two young players having their first game this evening for the Saints. They are Glenn Brown, number 52, who is named at full forward. Whether he plays there, I don't know. And Steve Curtin, number 41. He's picked at centre-half forward. The Saints are very happy. They're fairly confident, and they reckon they'll take a ton of beating. Let's see what Doug Wade has to say in the Swans room.
Thank you very much, Jack. Well, there's only one change in the Swans room over here. Mark Browning, unfortunately, is out injured. His position on the ruck rover has been taken by Shane Morwood, and young John Lucas comes up to play his second game on the interchange bench. A player to watch, 6'9" of him. That's Trevor Musty, number 40, in the first ruck for South Melbourne. The Swans, as they're now called, of course. This is only his third game for the Swans. So it's interesting to see how he goes under these conditions. In the meantime, back to Peter Landy at the main commentary position.
Right, thank you, Doug. The umpires, by the way, for tonight's match, Shane Nolan and Neville Nash. Both teams taking up their position. First quarter now, and it could be a very foggy evening before we've gone too much further. Umpire Nolan coming in to bounce the ball. Third quarter final of the Escort Championships. Musty and Saru. Musty gets the first tap out for the Swans. Barker tackling very solidly on the shoulder, says umpire Neville Nash, and it will be a free kick to the Swans to be taken just short of the centre by Max Cruz. Cruz to right half forward, the foggier end of the ground. Danaher gets the hand pass out, taken by Cunningham. Picked up again by Cunningham, solidly tackled by Bernie Conlon. The umpire has found a free kick. It will be going to Cunningham, which he will take at centre field. Play on, says the umpire. Cunningham does. He's gone for a short pass, and the mark taken by Slattery. Slattery at centre field. Saru over the top. Elphinston at right half forward, driving the Saints deep into attack. A long pun kick up towards the full forward position. Duperouzil at the back. Got two hands to it. Through for the first score of the evening, a point to the Saints, and that came up at the 1 minute mark of the term.
Peter, it's certainly a waste of time looking at selected sides. St Kilda have made about 14 changes in the 20, and South Melbourne about 8.
Yes, they certainly haven't lined up as selected, have they? Here's a chance for the Saints. Odgers bumping very solidly. Barker in there for St Kilda, close to the boundary line. Traps it nicely. Wright couldn't get the bounce of the ball. And then going through solidly for the Saints was Packham. The umpire has found a free kick. It's going, let me see. It's going to Ian Roberts, and Ian Roberts will take the free for the Swans at full back.
Kick by Roberts is over the half back line. Through and Musty going for it. Musty tapped it away actually that time. There's a chance now for Cruz to break clear for the Swans. A hand pass coming over to Evans. I think Evans is playing on the wing tonight, Bob, is he?
Half forward flank, Lou.
Half forward flank. The kick well down there. Danaher at the back. It's picked up nicely by O'Donnell of St Kilda. Clears. Runs into a bit of trouble there. A hand pass coming out from Mildenhall, and the ball is finally driven up there by Armstrong. Across there towards that half forward line. Picked up now by Slattery, running to an open goal. Fires. He won't make the distance. There's a chance for Rackley now. It's Duperouzil's got it through for goal. Good play on the part of Duperouzil that time. Quick thinking as the ball hit the ground when Ackley fell over, and St Kilda get the first score on the board. 1 goal, 7 points to the Swans yet to score.
Duperouzil running quite a distance to say congratulations to Slattery, who we see there putting the ball forward, and David Ackley making a valiant attempt to trap it, and Duperouzil having a feast of goals in the last few weeks. He kicked 6 last Saturday, a number the week before, so already with 1 on the board.
2.5 minutes, or just over 2.5 minutes gone, and the Saints off to a good start. 1 goal, 7 points to the Swans yet to score. Saru got into Neesham that time. A chance for Shane Moore to get clear. Now's the chance for Cruz to go for a long kick out there towards that half forward line, and a good mark taken in defence for St Kilda by Mildenhall. Mildenhall's kick is not a good one. It'll be okay, and that's a mark to Brown, and that would be his first kick in senior football.
Brown's kick to half forward for the Saints. Right half forward. Slattery behind. Touch number 3 for him tonight. Oh, leapfrog. Play on, says umpire Nolan. And a real pack developing at the St Kilda centre half forward position. And so subsequently he has decided to ball it up. Musty and Saru. Musty is the taller of the two. Conlon just about breaking clear. He played very well the last time the Swans were here in action at a night match. Barker. There will be a free kick to Conlon. And Conlon will take it at centre half back. He'll be very keen to do well. Knocked away by O'Donnell. Right. Oh, it's very slippery out there. Scoop further forward. Mace. He was best on the ground the last time the Saints were in action out here, and Mace has come out of it with a free kick. Mace at left half forward. Beautiful torpedo punt kick up towards the full forward position. The Saints doing all the attacking so far in the first quarter. And it looks as though it's quite damp out there as well. Very heavy, that particular portion of the ground. Wayne Carroll's handball, effective. There's Torbett, couldn't quite trap the ball. Here's Slattery again, and everything so far in the first quarter. Gets it over in turn to St Kilda's Hewitt. The shot at goal is through for full points. A long kick by Hewitt going through. The Saints off to a great start. 2-1 to the Swans yet to score.
Well, Wayne Carroll on that occasion has played most of his football on the forward line, and it was quite obvious. We just missed Wayne Carroll taking the ball very close to the boundary, kept it in play and swung back with a handball, and then we saw Slattery accept it, give it across to Hewitt, and a goal the effective. But Wayne Carroll playing like a forward, keeping it in play and paying the penalty.
13 points to nil. Saints starting very well in the first term here. Saru gets this one out. Swans defence equal to the occasion, but Carroll's kick was smothered. It comes back to Cruz, very solid at half back. Ooh, that was Hewitt getting a rather nasty bump. Umpire Nash has found a free kick, or will it be a ball up? It will be a ball up to take place at centre field.
Just on 5.5 minutes of the first quarter. Out it comes to Neesham, runs into a bit of trouble there, couldn't get through the pack. Finally it's kicked out towards Brown. We see Wright give a hand pass. He was grabbed by the foot. And Cunningham trying to bustle his way through the pack. Oh, nearly another free kick, but the ball is finally pushed down there to Hodges. Hodges can't pick it up. As Peter said before, the ball is very slippery at the moment. Kicked off the ground again. Plenty of slipping and sliding as Evans spins out of the pack. It's a very short kick. Nicely picked up by Mildenhall, but then he lost it again. Plenty of fumbling going on as the ball finally comes back there to Barker. Cruz is there. Finally picked up by Dennis Carroll. A kick over their half-forward line for the Swans. Neesham spins out of the pack. Over to Danaher. He fumbles. Nicely played by Little Keel that time. But no one making much progress at the moment as they're piling in after the ball. Down goes Danaher. Talk about slippery out there. It's finally forced out now to O'Donnell. And the umpire still calling play on. No free kicks. Talk about sliding. And the ball finally kicked out there by Hewitt, I think it was. And a mark taken here by Kotzer. Kotzer's first kick in league football too. Down over the half forward. Oh, that's a good mark to Roberts. And he's paying that, and rightly so. Well, besides, there it is in replay. Positioned himself well, Bob.
And John Roberts from behind. Yes, we must pay it there. And a chance for John Roberts tonight if he can consolidate the opportunity and kick a few goals. He could get his place back in the senior side.
There's the kick by Roberts. And it's through for 1 point. So that's the Swans' first score. 1 point to St Kilda 2-1-13. Of course, there's a lot of prestige at stake at this match tonight for either of these sides to win, but more than that, there's a lot of money at stake, and both these clubs certainly need the cash at the moment. Out it goes now on Mark. Easy one dropped that time by Keel. Keel out there at half back. Hooks the ball back out there towards the wing position. A hand pass coming over now to Cunningham. Could run into a bit of trouble, but gets past Scott, but finally gets a hand pass out wide. And the ball is driven up there by Alphonston. Finally, Hewitt it was, and down there to the forward plug is a chance now. A hand pass from Duperuzal over to Barker. It's a long kick, and it's a darn good one too. It's a goal. So St Kilda very happy with themselves at the moment. 3-1-19 to the Swans 1 point.
Well, Barker, one of the many changes that St Kilda made. Barker was selected on a half-back flank. Duperuzal now, we see again, taking the ball, getting a nice hand pass across to Barker, and you see yourself there, the angle from which Barker had to kick. He put it right through the centre, and Barker, although selected on a half-back flank, played at centre half forward. So Max Cruz, along with Barker, Wayne Carroll coming off in the interchange, and Lucas going on.
18 points the difference in the first quarter. The Saints off to a great start. Musty and Saru. Saru gets it down, but it's taken away for the Swans by Fashini. Fashini's kick up towards the half-forward line. Codman traps it nicely. To Neesham, long handball. Danaher over to Wright. A chance for the Swans here. Wright, a flying shot at goal, has put it through, or is it touched? Touched right on the line. And I thought that was well through from here, but we haven't got the angle. The goal umpire did seem to be in good position. Anyway, you make up your own mind at home as the ball comes out to Kotzer again, looking for a free kick, and it's going the other way though to the Saints, and the ball taken away by Mildenhall up towards Elphinston. Elphinston playing on straight away. He's just about on centre wing, centres the ball for the St Kilda side. Loose ball to Evans. Short pass intended for Scott, not a particularly good one. Chance for St Kilda now, and going forward as Odgers. Long shot at goal, and what's he done with that one? Hit the post. Odgers off target. Just 3 goals to 20 to the Saints. The Swans 2 behinds, 2 points, and the Saints really looking the goods in the first term. Torbett towards the outer side of the ground, almost a mark to Musty, or will he pay a free kick? It's to Musty. Ackley. He was covered by Duperuzal, so it wasn't a particularly good handball. In towards centre wing, and a beautiful one-handed mark to the Saints is brought in by Elphinston. His kick and turn, left half forward. Torbett goes the punch, effective to Cruz. Shepherded by Scott, he clears for the Swans. Inboard to the centre, mark taken by Neesham. He'll be keen to do well too, Gerard Neesham. That's a good mark. Brought in for St Kilda by Armstrong. He's gone for a pass over to Mildenhall it was, up towards the centre half forward position. Barker again, more danger for the Swans here. He's kicked one, long shot by Barker. This time it's off target, and it goes through for 1 behind. And St Kilda move along to 3 goals, 3-21, and the Swans 2 behinds, 2 points.
10.5 minutes gone of the first quarter. Yes, Bob?
They've completely shocked the Swans with their start, Lou.
I'll say they have, and they're running on pretty fast at the moment. Elphinston doing a great job down there on that half back line. Punches it out. That's Cunningham going over. Chance now for Dennis Carroll to hook the ball back out there towards that half forward line. Saru off the ground, and coming on as Blease. Finally a chance there for Danaher to get a hand pass back there, but intercepted by O'Donnell on the boundary line. He may have put this out, and it'll be a throw in.
Well, judging by that, Lou, I think it would be obvious that Saru and Blease would come on and off the ball, on and off the interchange benches, change ruckman.
A ball out of bounds about 70 metres around from St Kilda's goal, and they're doing it pretty well at the moment. 3 goals, 3-21 to the Swans, 2 points. There's a wild kick, and that'll be a penalty free kick. It'll go out there to Odgers of St Kilda on the centre wing position. Jezelenko would be pretty happy at the moment, but a long way to go yet. Oh, that's a bad kick. Going after it again as Odgers. He copped one, back it goes there to little Conlon, knocks the ball wide out towards Cunningham. He can't pick it up, neither can Fashini. Plenty of fumbling going on by both sides. The umpire's found a free kick, and it'll go to Shane Morwood out there on the wing position for the Swans. Score 3-3-21 St Kilda. The Swans 2 points. Ricky Quaid a little bit tense at the moment, and so he should be, because he can see the money slipping down the drain at the moment as the ball is finally grabbed here by Wright, but the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Kotzer at centre field. It was picked at full-back, but as Bob said before, you can't take much notice of the selections in the paper. Out it goes now to Mace, a hand pass coming over now to Armstrong. Solidly built half-back flanker, looking for Barker, got his hands to it, couldn't hold it. Slattery tries to scoop it up, goes down, and finally picked up by Curtin. Back to Barker again, a snap for goal, but the Lemon Rinse kid is off target and through for 1 point. So his hair's getting blonder, I think. 3 goals, 4-22 St Kilda to the Swans, 2 points only.
Effective in getting Brownlow votes anyway. Ball driven back into play, and Redheads always seem to poll well too. Torbett, good mark. Former Essendon player.
I don't know what colour hair Bob Skilton had.
Lucas, he could just play football.
Thanks, Pete.
Neesham, centre field, centre wing. That's a shocking kick, isn't it? I think he's put a couple out like that.
Every now and again, left footers do that.
So it will be a penalty kick to be taken for the Saints at half-back.
They look so good when they're kicking well too, don't they, Bob?
When they're not, they kick across their body, and there's the result.
Back it comes towards the centre wing position. Evans went without it. Hand pass. Roberts Back to Neesham. Let's see if he can make amends. Taps it on, taken by Burnley Conlon. He's got plenty of pace. Packen won't pick him up. Ball in short. Danaher couldn't take it. Out it comes to O'Donnell. Back to Scott. Scott left half forward for the Swans. Looks for a big mark across there to Roberts. Can't take it. Here's Fashini. A real chance for a Swans goal here. He's in the 10-metre square. Fires and has put it through this time. First goal to the Swans. And Fashini with that blistering pace, making sure that he got well clear and popped it through. 3-4 to 1-2.
Yes, well, Mildenhall has been a fine player in the back pocket so far, but caught out of position on that occasion. The ball being swung right across. Good piece of shepherding by John Roberts, and well, maybe a little bit lucky that he wasn't penalised, but nonetheless, it would have been a brave umpire to take the ball off Silvio Fashini racing into the open goal.
You didn't think he ran too far, Bob, did you?
No, I thought the shepherd by John Roberts was a little bit dangerous.
3-4 to 1-2 is the score in the first quarter, which has been going just over 14 minutes. Musty and Blease. Blease gets it down. Nobody making any headway after that, though, and the umpire has decided to ball it up only a few metres from the circle. Musty again. Blease over the top wins it. It's taken by Barker for St Kilda. The Saints swing into attack again up towards the half-forward position. Ian Roberts went without the ball. Plenty of Swans defenders there. Torbett gets tackled by Slattery. Out to Duperuzal. He's kicked one so far. Duperuzal's handball into the open spaces. Roberts and Hewitt. Free kick to the Swans. It will be taken by Ian Roberts.
Ian Roberts to take that free kick down there in the back pocket. Right across goals. It could be dangerous. We see Ackley going after it now. Keel's right on his tail. He goes for a short pass out wide looking for Dennis Carroll. But it'll certainly beat him and out of bounds about 65 metres around from the Saints' goal. Tell you what, but I can't understand guys kicking across goal like that when they're in trouble.
Occasionally it comes off, Lou, but as we saw a similar piece of play at Geelong last Saturday that resulted in an Essendon goal.
Well, you're taking the risk all the time and you're going further away from your own goal. Ball back into play, Musty. Blease at the back, and Blease got the tap down. Going after it now as Wright hooks the ball back out wide to that wing position. Oh, mark dropped by Carroll, but he get one on the back from Cunningham, and Dennis Carroll takes the free kick for the Swans at half back. The Swans 1 goal, 8 points to St Kilda 3-4-22, approaching the 16-minute mark of this, the first quarter, the third quarter final of the Escort Championships. Big Musty put out of position, in goes Armstrong, lost sight of it. Chance for O'Donnell to get a hand pass out, but as we said before, it's very slippery out there. Oh, nicely picked up by Rhys Jones. Over to Fashini, a running shot for goal, but Silvio's off target and through for 1 point. So it's 3 goals, 4-22 St Kilda to the Swans 1 goal, 9 points as we wait now for the ball to come back into play. And this fog is getting much thicker, but because of our good camera work, you don't notice that at home.
It's a lot easier to see the players on the monitor, isn't it?
I'll say it is. Finally it goes out there. Mark dropped by Brown, picked up by Neesham, over to Danaher, a long kick looking for Roberts. It's too long. Oh, he couldn't mark that as a goal coming up to young Conlon for sure. That's the second goal for the Swans. So they move on to 2 goals, 3-15 to St Kilda 3-4-22.
Well, a good recovery by the Swans. They've really come back in the last few moments as we see Morwood putting the ball forward. Thomas coming back. A bad miss by Thomas, really. And a great piece of roving by Conlon. There was no sense in trying to fly with Thomas. It was on a night like tonight, the odds are that it's likely to come through with Grant Thomas not closing the palms and keeping it forward. 1 goal.
17 minutes have gone in the first quarter, so 3 to go. Let's hope that fog doesn't get any worse. Blease. Knock on by Neesham. Armstrong is there for the Saints at centre half back. Looks for the handball to O'Donnell. Doesn't bounce kindly for him. Cavitt's in there. O'Donnell battling it out well. Almost got caught with the ball. Still tapped further forward. Mildenhall gets it over to Keel. Back to Armstrong again. Wright is there for the Swans. And that ball is very, very difficult to handle. Keel, well tackled by Rhys Jones. Very close to the boundary line. Rhys Jones puts his head down. How did the umpire see it? Free kick to the Swans. Rhys Jones onto Scott. The Swans attacking to see if they can get a goal before siren time in the first term. Over the head of Roberts. Elphinston backs up well for St Kilda. Will try and get it back to Thomas. Effectively does so. Thomas on the boundary line. Got rid of it pretty quickly. Back to Blease. and he can't handle it. The big ruckman having plenty of problems out there. It's very close to the boundary line, and the umpire has decided to ball it up. The ball up about 20 metres from the goal in the Swans attacking zone, with about a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Very scrambly play, understandably. A lot of dew on the ground, and that fog becoming quite thick, especially at the main scoreboard end. Knocked down by Musty. Keel is there for St Kilda. Over it goes to Armstrong. Shrugs the tackle very well. Armstrong clears for the Saints, gets the ball back up towards the centre wing position. Bounce favours St Kilda. Off the ground. Barker will get there first. Scoops it further forward. Very close to a throw. Back it comes to Mace. Mace from right half forward flank. Long kick up towards the full forward position. It's all the Swans, and the mark taken by Torbett.
Torbett in defence for the Swans. I think this is his first kick for the Swans too since last week. I'm sorry about that. Finally a hand pass from right over to Ackley. Down there in the back pocket, out to Carroll, and takes an easy mark on the centre wing position. 7 points the difference in favour of the St Kilda at the moment. Just on the time for the first quarter. That we see a hand pass coming out from Hewitt, back there to Keel. A chance now for Cunningham to go for a pass. It may be too long. It is too long that time for Barker, and a mark taken in defence there by Lucas. Lucas's kick is out there looking for Reece Jones. Getting up high that time was Cullett. A chance now for O'Donnell. Shows plenty of determination for the Saints out there on that wing position. It's Brown. It's Brown, I should say. Finally over to Milton. This could be a goal. Doesn't make the distance. Finally coming in to meet it now is Ackley, and there's the siren to end the quarter. And we see the scores at quarter time in the third quarter final of the Escort Championship. St Kilda 3-4-22 to the Swans 2-3-15.
Back on September the 5th, 1970, when South Melbourne made the finals for the first time since 1945. Led by triple Brownlow medalist Bobby Skilton, the Swans were to lose the first semi-final to St Kilda by 53 points before a record crowd of 104,000 fans at the MCG. Tonight, the two teams clash again in the third quarter final of the Escort Championships, with the Swans determined to level old scores. And you're with the action on 7 Sport.
At quarter time, St Kilda 3-4-22, leading the Swans 2-3-15. The goal kickers for St Kilda, Trevor Barker, who, in my opinion, probably best on the ground at the first quarter, Duper-Ruzel and Hewitt. And for the Swans, goals have been kicked by Fashini and Conlon. Here's Stephen Phillips.
Thanks, Peter. It's, as you can see, super cold out here and super slippery. And Alex Jezelenko spent most of the break explaining to his players how to mark in the slippery conditions. He wasn't satisfied. Ricky Quaid, on the other hand, said he was very pleased with the way his side got back into it and to continue applying the pressure. Back to you, Pete.
OK, thanks, Stephen. Alex Jezelenko leading the field. What isn't leaving the field is the fog. It is coming down very, very thick, as I said, especially at the main scoreboard end. That's the end most affected by the fog at the moment. It takes my memory back to a match at the Junction Oval. I think it was in the 60s between Carlton and Fitzroy, and they couldn't see the goals.
I can remember Bill Toomey giving the votes on the Saturday night and saying, how can you expect him to give votes when he couldn't see the players?
Yeah, the goal umpires had to run up to the centre of the ground every time a score was affected to check to see just what it was. However, let's hope that that doesn't eventuate here this evening, but it is rather foggy just at present. So 22-15. Umpire Neville Nash coming in to start proceedings in the second term. I'm just waiting for the runner to get off the field. Second quarter starts with St Kilda leading by 7 points, 22-15. Musty and Saru. Musty got this one down, taken by Neesham. Neesham's kick, however, is short. Socket off the ground by Lucas up towards the centre half forward position. And a real chance for the Swans here. Roberts fumbles the slippery ball. We can certainly make excuses for that this evening. And it's rushed over the boundary line by Thomas, and we'll see it thrown in adjacent to the point post in the Swans' forward pocket. Ruckman set themselves. Danaher. Plenty of St Kilda defenders are there. It's taken by Thomas. Thomas's kick along the ground. Right. And again, plenty of St Kilda defenders led by Cunningham. Long handball. Neesham had his opponent covered though. Carroll got grabbed, seemingly without the ball. And it will be a free kick to Dennis Carroll, which he will take at right half forward flank. Wobbly punt kick. Up to full forward. No mark paid by the umpire. Right. Snares it beautifully. Trying to get out of trouble. Shoots out the handball. A flying shot at goal by Morwood, and he has put it through. Oh, it's out of bounds. Goodness me, from 25 metres out, he has put it out of bounds on the full. And that is an unbelievable miss. So a penalty kick to be taken in the back pocket for St Kilda. Rhys Jones, oh, beautiful mark at the half-forward flank, and Rhys Jones has a chance to put the Swans forward now. He's gone for a pass out towards full forward. Taken by Morwood again. He's given it to Roberts. Roberts will have to get onto his left foot. The snap at goal is also out of bounds, or is it a point? We'll wait and see from the umpire. I think it could be out of bounds on the full again. Yes, it is. And the penalty this time to be taken by O'Donnell. It's not O'Donnell, it's Daryl Hewitt. Daryl Hewitt in the back pocket.
And this quarter, the Swans kicking with the fog this time, because I don't think it's as thick down this end as we find Mildenhall getting clear. It's Alphington, I should say, and the ball finally kicked over towards centre half forward. Nearly a push in the back that time, but the umpire called play on. Finally, it's Ian Roberts breaking clear. Hand pass coming back there to Kotzer. Finally over to Roberts again. A long kick over centre half forward. A chance for Danaher, punched on by O'Donnell. Picked up by Mildenhall now. Another long hand pass to Saru in a bit of trouble. Couldn't get time or enough room to hand pass out. Morwood goes down. He couldn't get a pass out. Finally, Brown taps it on. Coming in to meet it now is Neesham at centre field. Hooks the ball back towards the Swans half-forward line, and a mark taken there by Evans. Gets around Cunningham pretty easily that time. Goes for a short pass. Chance now for Fashini running to an open goal. Can he get his foot to it? He does. For goal number 2. Difference now. 22 points St Kilda. The Swans 21 points. Just over 3.5 minutes into this second quarter. Chance for Slattery to get clear. A hand pass out there towards the wing position. They're slinging them left and right, but there'll be a free kick to Callett, and Callett takes the kick out there on that centre wing position. A kick well down towards the half-forward line. Flying over the top of the pack was Curtin, couldn't hold the mark. That's Slattery coming out. His hand pass went astray. He got one in the back. Umpire said, keep on playing, boys, and certainly they're letting play go on as Slattery has a battle out there. Couldn't pick it up with Conlon. Finally, Hewitt again picked up by little Conlon out there on that wing position, and a good mark out there to Scott at half-back for the Swans. Kick is smothered, well smothered by Saru. Goes after it now, picks it up. He's grabbed again by Scott, pulled to the ground, and it's still on their half-back line for St Kilda.
And that's the hardest part of the ground to see the players too. It's very, very foggy over there as it comes up towards the centre wing position. Rhys Jones to Scott. Looking for Danaher. Dispossessed. Neesham. Danaher again. Keeps the ball in play, only just. It's very close to the boundary line down there, but Armstrong is quite content to see it over the line, and it will be thrown into play adjacent to the small scoreboard and about 30 metres from the goal. Swans kicking to the right this term. Knocked down by Danaher. Back to Rhys Jones. Danaher's there again with him, lending some assistance. It comes out to Elphinston. Elphinston's kick is a short one. That's Big Musty, Big Bird. Back towards full forward. Roberts battling it out. Plenty of St Kilda players in there, and the game not of a very high standard at the moment. It's very hard to handle. Cunningham shows them how it should be done. His kick off the side of the boot goes to Danaher, who looks for a hand pass. Not effective. Taken by Brown. Brown's kick is a short one. That is a good pass, and the mark is taken out there for St Kilda by Meehan. Meehan, right half-back flank. Gets it up towards the centre wing position. Good tackle down there by Lucas. Ball comes out to Scott now. A poor hand pass. Evans ran into his own man. He's still good enough to get clear. Puts it long. Up towards full forward. Trying to find Roberts. Thomas is there with him. Succeeds in punching the ball straight down to Morwood. Back to Roberts. Was that 10 metres? Not for mine. And the umpire rightly calls play on it. Comes back to Morwood. It hit the post, if that is a score. Yes, it was. I thought he might have blown a whistle. I think the players half stopped too, expecting one, and so one behind to the Swans levels the scores here at VFL Park. in the third quarter-final. 22 points each of 2. And speaking of 22, it will be Simon O'Donnell to bring the ball back into play. O'Donnell coming straight up the field. That's a beautiful kick too. It could have almost been a hip out to Elphinston. The umpire calls play on, taken by Meehan. Meehan goes to a hand pass. Gets it back again from Elphinston up towards the centre wing position, and Brown playing his first game for the Saints and doing okay, and Brown's kick up towards half forward.
There's a chance now for the Saints to go further field, but Ackley's in the thick of things there. Out comes to do Perusal. A hand pass coming back there to Mace. It is got one in the back. Umpire call play on. Curtin hooks the ball back towards the full forward position. Barker's between two. Duperusel spins out of the package back to Barker now. Goes for a short pass to Keel. It falls short. Slattery can't side it now. Keel's got it. He's grabbed. Plenty of fumbling going on as we see Kotzer trying to get it clear. Evans around the neck, no doubt about that. And Evans will get a free kick down there short of half back. The Swans 3-4-22 to St Kilda the same score. Ball back to centre field. Rhys Jones couldn't mark that, but he certainly secured it. And there's a chance now for Dennis Carroll to go for a long kick over the Swans half forward line. Roberts dropped an easy mark. This allows Armstrong to pick it up down there at full back. Goes for a short kick out there to Saru. He couldn't pick it up. In comes Big Bird. Musty goes for a hand pass. Well intercepted that time by Cunningham. He's certainly showing plenty of pace there over to Armstrong. Armstrong is well grabbed by Rhys Jones. He pile on top of him, and the umpire still calling play on. They're not. That's Armstrong still, not Armstrong. Cunningham still battling pretty hard for the ball, and the umpires decided to ball it up about 30 metres out from goal. Not the most scientific game in the world, Bob.
No, Lou, but with the conditions like they are, it would be really worse than rain because it's just so slippery. And I think the umpires, are doing the right thing by giving the players plenty of opportunity to gain possession or tap the ball on. It's no good just continually bouncing the ball all the time because you only create more packs, as we see now. Look at the number of players around that bounce.
There's the ball knocked out by Saru. The umpires found a free kick. It'll go to Big Musty. Against Saru, got over his shoulder that time, the umpire indicated.
There's a heck of an advantage in being that tall.
That's right, but he must have jumped pretty high, the big Saru, to get over the top of Musty, 6'9". And of course, his nickname is Big Bird, being a big swan. He's only about 40 metres out from goal. Let's see whether the distance worries him. It's a hefty kick. And I think he may have put this through for a goal, the big fella.
4-3-4 is the score in favour of the Swans, playing a lot better after a slow start. Slattery out to Elphinston for St Kilda. Elphinston's handball down to Cavett. Cavett on the centre wing position. Long kick up towards the fog at right half forward. Scooped into the open spaces. It goes, I think that was Mildenhall. What's he doing down there? Barker tries to knock the ball forward. Missed it completely. Fashini. Danaher. Well, it must be like a piece of soap, that ball. Couldn't mark it at all. Saru. That's effective. Gets it over to Meehan. Meehan's kick up towards the full forward position again. Knocked away by Torbett. Slattery's there. Takes it well, but gets caught. Barker into the back of his opponent, or is it holding the ball? A free kick to the Swans to be taken by Ian Roberts. And by golly, they're hard to pick up down there. Up towards Brown. Slipped through his hands. Socket up towards centre field, or centre wing it is. Armstrong went without the ball. Lucas is there. Saru off the ground for St Kilda. Rhys Jones still battling hard. In goes for Sheeny. Taps the ball into the open spaces. Unfortunately for him, initially it went to the opposition player. Now it goes to Conlon. Conlon's got speed at half forward. Puts it up to John Robertson. Has he got the mark or not? No. Thomas. Oh, could have almost been free kick there for unduly rough play. And the ball over the boundary line. It will be thrown in the Swans' forward pocket. Well, John Roberts going to within a whisker of marking that. As you can see on the replay, we do have a boundary throw in. O'Donnell didn't get it too far. Brown from the back pocket goes around the boundary line, trying to find Blease. He replaced Saru as he did in the first quarter. Cavett almost caught with the ball. Slattery's hand pass to Blease. It's good football. And the Saints go forward through Mildenhall again, up towards the right half forward flank, into the fog. Big Blease is there again. Or is it Curtin? It's Curtin. Slattery, long handball. In towards Duperuzal, who's kicked one so far. Barker behind his opponent Torbett on this occasion. Torbett battling hard. Duperuzal sharks it well, tries to get clear, not successful. Into the goal square it comes. The umpire's letting it go tonight, certainly. You've got to earn your free kicks. It's a holding the ball decision, and it will be going to the Swans, and it will be taken by Bernie Evans.
Bernie Evans to take that free kick at full back. 3 goals, 4-22 St Kilda to the Swans 4-28. Cots has got the mark out there on that back pocket position for the Swans. Up there, a big Musty couldn't hold the mark. It hits the deck. Now's a chance for Neesham to get clear. Neesham's kick is a left footer. It's a high one back there towards Shane Morwood. Pushed away by Elphingston. Nearly grabbed that mark, and he's paying it rightly so too. Elphingston with the mark out there on that centre half back position. Over to Keel. Another hand pass to Blease. Blease's hand pass not a good one. There's a chance here for St Kilda to get clear, but there'll be a free kick. It'll go to St Kilda's Hewitt, and Hewitt takes the free kick at centre half forward. Chance for the Saints to score a goal. Barker in front, flew before acceptance that time. Ackley goes for the defensive tactics there, goes for the boundary line. Out there towards the boundary line, but it beats Mason. It's out of bounds. So it's out of bounds about 40 metres around from the St Kilda goal. They're trailing by 6 points at the moment. Started off so well, St Kilda 2. Blease and Torbett. Actually, that was knocked out by Blease. Grabbed on the line that time by Hewitt, but the ball is out of bounds.
We saw how Hewitt actually slid across the ground there, so it shows how slippery it is on top of the grass.
Out of bounds this time. It's about 40 metres around from the St Kilda goal. Torbett got the punch down. A chance now for Keel. Scoots around his opponents. A hand pass coming over here to Brown. A snapshot for goal. Won't make the distance. Punched away again by Cruz. They're certainly going the punch down there, the Swans defence, and the ball is out of bounds. This time it's a little closer to the St Kilda goal, about 15 metres around.
Lou, considering how well Barker played in that first half, can you understand St Kilda moving him to full forward?
I would have kept him at centre half forward where he was starring, but they've got Cruz. Ackley tries to get a punch out. Duperuzal tries to spin at the pack. There we see little Meehan getting clear, but it's finally kicked out wide as they go now for Mace. Snaps at the goals, but he'll be off target, and the ball is out of bounds, and it'll be a penalty free kick to the Swans. 4-4-28 the Swans to St Kilda 3-4-22.
And Max Cruz to take the free kick.
While he's out at centre half forward, he can really use his pace against Max Cruz. Coming back to full forward, it brings Cruz right into the thick of things and doesn't give Barker any room to move.
Plus the 2 pocket players can hem him in too, Bob.
Torbett takes the mark for the Swans. Steve Torbett at left half back, adding a little bit of height to the Swans side, but his kick is atrocious, but many would argue it's a good pass as it's taken by Dennis Carroll. Carroll is at centre half back. Too long for Danaher, taken by Kellett. Kellett's handball to Keel, picked up by Evans. O'Donnell goes in there. In comes Armstrong. He gets a favourable bounce. The handball, useful to Blease. On it goes to Mace. Mildenhall it is. Mildenhall's kick up towards the right half forward flank, and that's Mace there taking the mark in the fog. Robert Mace, who played a few games for Hawthorn after originally coming from Frankston. Packham has taken the mark. He just replaced Hewitt on the interchange bench. Packham is at right half forward. A more than useful Bourke. A long kick at goal will be a score. I don't think it will be a goal, or is it out of bounds? Yes, out of bounds on the full. And so a free kick will be taken for the Swans by, I think that's Cruz, is it down there in the fog? Cruz in the back pocket. Musty in front. Knocked away by Torbett. Back to Musty. A long hand ball. It finds Brown. Conlon's there with him. Over the line it goes. It will be a throw-in almost on the centre wing position. Well, there were some hardy souls sitting out there in the outer tonight in these very cool and foggy conditions at VFL Park, enjoying the football, and it's certainly a close match so far. And players adapting to the conditions fairly well, all things considered. Picked up by Neesham. Neesham's kick is around to the centre wing. Danaher is there. Tries to get clear of O'Donnell. Not successful in executing that move. Ball in the meantime booted down towards Bernie Evans. Carrot went up, tried to knock it clear of him. Didn't succeed in that either. Picked up on the boundary line again by Evans. Touched it to play on. Missed by Blease. Thomas. Handballs in the O'Donnell. He was covered, holding the ball. had to be holding the ball, and the free kick to go to the Swans to be taken by Bernie Evans.
Evans is out there on that half-forward flank. It's a long kick up there. Big Musty coming into position. Really held the mark that time. Pounces on top of the ball. Rhys Jones sits on top of everybody. And the umpire's found a free kick to go to Odgers. Over it goes now to Cunningham. Short pass out to Armstrong. He's clear. There's a chance now for St Kilda to go further forward. A long hand pass, but not a good one. Finally, it bounces right for O'Donnell out there on the wing position. Back to Brown. Brown steadies. Go for the long kick, but there's no one there. Ackley couldn't hold the mark. Cruz is having trouble getting it up. Now there's a go for Curtin. Have a snap for goal. Will it make it, or will it? It might bounce right. It did an off break and went through for a goal.
So that'll be Curtin's first goal in league football. The former Old Xaverians full forward in the amateurs last year, full forward for the premiers, Old Xaverians. And now we watch again as young Brown puts the ball forward. Missed there by Ackley. Cruz unable to handle the ball cleanly, and Curtin getting a well-deserved goal. It's always lovely to see a player get his first goal in league football.
Certainly did a bit of a turn there for him, and a good turn. We see the scores dead level again. 4 goals, 4 apiece. And we're at the 18-minute mark. Blease against Musty. Blease decided to grab that one and send the Saints back into attack down there towards Ackley and Duperouz, with a good safe mark in defence there at half-back by Ackley.
Ackley taking the mark, right half-back flank. 1 minute and 3/4 to go to half-time. Knocked away by Kellett. This guy's playing fairly well. Armstrong gets it up towards the centre and does it himself again. Meehan. Packham gets there first, knocked away by Roberts effectively. Mates backing up for St Kilda, but the ball, I think, could beat him over the line. He's gone for the handball, taken by Ian Roberts, though. And it will be a boundary throw-in. It's the foggiest part of the ground out there. And it comes to Meehan again. Lost it just as quickly as he gained it. Big pack developing out there, and umpire Nolan has no choice but to ball it up.
I wouldn't take the chance with hand passing tonight when you can kick, Bob, because it's so slippery out there.
Torbett doing the ruck work.
Well, if you can kick.
Yep.
Down it comes to Ackley. Ackley's handball again to Ian Roberts. Roberts' kick, however, is a short one. It may find Wright, who was just a little bit late on the scene. Mildenhall getting well tackled by Wright, but he lost the ball subsequently. And once again, a big pack developing out there. And again, no alternative for the umpire except to ball it up, as we are approximately half a minute from half-time. Knocked down by Torbett to Ian Roberts. Scott went through. We're pretty close to ball up number 3 in the space of about 45 seconds. And so that all but means there'll be no further addition to the score at half-time. Torbett knocks it down. Mildenhall, as the siren goes for half-time, and a check of the score sees it all tied up. 4 goals, 4-28. St Kilda, 4-4-28 the Swans.
And played a club record 237 games with the Swans. But the 1970 first semi-final against St Kilda was his only finals appearance in that long and illustrious career. Skipper of the Swans' losing side that day, Skilton was often quoted as saying he would have traded all 3 Brownlows for a grand final Guernsey. Tonight, Bobby Skilton is at Sevens microphones, part of the expert commentary team bringing you the 1982 Escort Championships.
And 4-4-28 apiece, the two sides here at VFL Park in the third quarter final of the Escort Championships for 1982. The goal kickers for St Kilda, singles to Barker, Duperouz, Hewitt and Curtin. For the Swans, Fashini has 2, 1 to Musty and 1 to Conlon. Well, you can't get a more even match than all tied up at half-time. I thought it was interesting, Lou, the move of Trevor Barker up to full forward after, in my opinion, he was one of the best on the ground in the first quarter.
Well, Bobby pointed that very early. He couldn't understand why a fellow that's starring at centre half forward. I think you always leave well alone, Bob, don't you? And
well,
of course you became crowded up there.
I've always been taught that the principle is you never move a winner, and Peter did say that quarter time that he felt that Barker was close to the best player on the ground, and he was, although Cruz was still doing reasonably well, he didn't have the pace to keep with Trevor Barker. When they went back to full forward, it closed Barker up and gave the strength of Cruz the opportunity. And we saw Trevor Barker probably not get a kick in the second quarter after having 1 goal, 2 on the board, and a number of other kicks right around the ground. He was roaming across the half-forward line. Whether or not he's injured, it's very hard to say, but it really did bring St Kilda back a bit. Their back line was doing quite well, and although Mildenhall, as opponents, have kicked 3 goals, one by Conlon, you couldn't really blame Mildenhall for that one, but 2 by his other opponent in Silvio Fascini, one with just sheer pace that nobody could have stopped that one by Fascini. But Mildenhall still has been a solid player. Armstrong also across the half-back line. Keel and Brown. Brown's been very impressive,
yes,
playing his first game in the centre, although Neesham's had a few kicks. Carroll and Cunningham are having a fine duel on their win, and I'd give the honours there to Carroll, even though Cunningham, his endeavour has been great. But all in all, I think it was more the move of Barker taking him out of the game that in some respects brought South back into it. But you couldn't take it away. They looked a beaten side 3/4 of the way through the first term when St Kilda had those 3 quick goals on the board. And we see now as Slattery brilliantly takes the ball away from the pack, puts the ball forward, and a little bit of bad luck for Ackley. He had the front position with great quickness and agility by Duperuzal to put that ball through.
Bob, the thing that, well, it doesn't really amaze me, the conditions are bad and they're slipping and sliding all over the place. And I always believe this, and I know handball is a great part of our game, particularly the way football's played today, but I believe if you've got a kick today and you can get clear to kick it, don't go for a hand pass, because you cover far more distance than you will with a couple of hand passes. Plus your mate that you hand pass to could lose it under these conditions.
Yes, but I think I'm credit to both sides tonight for their tackling, and they are really putting pressure on the player with the ball. Right now we watch as Mace, and he's done quite a good job for St Kilda. A lead by Curtin, ignored the ball, put up long, no mark of course under these conditions, but Curtin once again coming back and diving in, but Packham and Curtin right there, the ball showing how slippery. And we saw here Carroll keep the ball in play, and it's just not the thing you do on the back line. Carroll has played most of his football on the forward line, and Hewitt finishing up with a goal. And because of that piece of play, there's no doubt in my mind that that's why Ricky Quaid decided that John Lucas had to go to the half-back flank, Carroll paying the penalty for that wrong piece of defensive work.
Bob, the new players in the match tonight, Kotzer for South Melbourne, number 47. We just saw Curtin in that replay for St Kilda, and Brown. How have you seen their performances?
I think the most impressive so far has been Brown in the centre, a neat player, a 2-footed player who has done well with the ball. Kotzer, quite impressive, but has found Mace a little bit elusive at times. And Curtin kicked 1 goal. Maybe that was the reason that Jezelenko did move those 2 players, maybe to try and bring Curtin into the play. He did kick a goal, but nonetheless, I think that move had a disastrous effect for St Kilda.
Right, thank you, Bob. Just checking the half-time scores, 4-4, 28 apiece in the third quarter final of the Escort Championships. We'll take these messages from all studios and back for further comment in just a moment.
Saint turned Tiger Ian Stewart had a strong allegiance with both tonight's Escort Championships quarter-finalists. Stewie won 2 Brownlow medals with the Saints, another with Richmond, and was to eventually coach the Swans in the late 70s. One of the most skillful players in league history, Ian Stewart laid the foundation for the Swans fighting out tonight's game against his old side. And you're watching the action on 7 Sport.
To VFL Park for the resumption of play. Scores level at half-time. As we take a check on the statistics, marks in favour of the Swans, 18-13, so not many marks taken in the first half, only, 31. The kick 64-73 in favour of the Swans again, free kick 7-14 in favour of the Swans, so they have double. Handballs 58-32, well in favour of the Saints, but of course, as you mentioned, Bob, a lot of those have been very ineffective.
Well,
yeah,
I think
mainly because of pressure, though. You can't say that it's been indiscriminate handball. Both sides have tackled quickly and fiercely, and that's been one of the reasons why there has been a lot of quick handball to get themselves out of trouble.
Well, the fog situation actually seems to have improved a little bit, so that's the good news, but still fairly thick down in the main scoreboard pocket.
I don't think it'll stop the style of play we've seen here tonight, Pete. It'll still be pretty slippery out. There's a lot of dew on the ground, and of course that's making it very, very difficult for the players to pick the ball up, and I think the umpires should be complimented too, because they're letting the game flow on.
They're umpiring sensibly, aren't they?
And as we said during the commentary, the more you ball up, the more congested the game becomes.
Scores 11 at half-time as umpire Nolan comes in to bounce the ball to start the third term. 4-4, 28 apiece in this third quarter final. Rhys Jones went through without the ball. Evans traps it nicely. And a good mark almost brought in by O'Donnell. The umpire, has he played it? I think he may have. And Rhys Jones making sure that he doesn't get clear. O'Donnell from half-back. At the back is Mace. The umpire has found a free kick, though. I think it will be going to the Swans. It will be taken by Max Cruz. So Cruz at centre half-back.
And Barker back at centre half forward, Pete.
Where he played in the first quarter and did so very well. Rhys Jones going down solidly. Evans loses the ball just as quickly as he gained it. St Kilda swing into attack now, and they're driven forward through Mildenhall up towards their forward pocket. Here's Barker.
And I reckon Mildenhall's ripped a
he does look like it,
hamstring
doesn't he?
for sure.
Curtin in all sorts of trouble down there. Umpire Nolan has decided to ball it up. And Bill Mildenhall not looking the best, holding that troublesome hamstring. Now he's off. Knocked down by Torbett. Carroll. Up to centre field. Still very hard to take marks tonight. Fashini kicks it off the ground and has been free kicked, I think, for a trip. And Silvio Fashini will take the free kick almost adjacent to the centre circle. Puts the Swans into attack up towards their centre half forward position. Cavitter's there. No mark paid to him by the umpire. Play on, says the umpire. He tries to. That was, let me see, Odgers. I think he has found a free kick out of all that too. Going to Odgers. Odgers goes for the hand pass. That's successful. Saints now moving the ball okay as it comes to Armstrong. Armstrong with the long kick down towards left half forward. Barker at the back of the pack. So too is Duperuzul. He kicked the first goal of the match. Barker shepherding for him from the boundary line. Puts it high. Torbett will go the punch. Tries to get it clear of Curtin. Now Curtin has a second grab at it. Gets well caught by Ian Roberts. The handball again not good, and Ackley clears for the Swans.
Good play on the part of Ackley that time. Right across goals. It could be dangerous. There we see Scott to take the mark in the back pocket position.
I think Ackley might have a hamstring too, Lou.
Well, there's two of them. I'm sure that Mildenhall's got one, and let's hope for the Swans' sake that Ackley doesn't have to leave the ground. The ball out there on that wing position. O'Donnell gets it over to Saru now. His kick is not a good one. Back it goes to Cunningham, pushed away by Neesham. Neesham still playing in front of the pack that time. Chance now for Alphenstein to kick the ball over to the half-forward line for the Saints. Coming in to meet it now is Barker. Down he goes. Still very slippery. Ackley's in there. Doesn't look like his hamstring's gone this time as the ball comes out to Scott, and it's finally out of bounds. Yes, you might be right, Bob. There he is, still limping pretty badly, so I shouldn't imagine that he may stay out there too long.
It must be a miracle spray if he does.
Here we go now. The ball back into play. At the moment, score still dead level, 28 points apiece. Fumbled a hand pass that time by Neesham. Now he's got it. Back there to right. A hurried kick back over the wing position. O'Donnell couldn't take that mark. Backing up as Morwood. He lost it. I would say this fella just about St Kilda's best player, Armstrong, with a hand pass coming back to Meehan. A bad one back to Keel, back to Armstrong again. He shows him how to get clear, but it's not a great kick. Still very slippery. The umpire said that it's play on his right. We see Ackley coming off the ground as the ball is marked there by Shane Morwood. A short pass there to Dennis Carroll, grabbed by Cunningham. He backs up pretty well, good play, but then he tries to break through the pack. Back it comes to Armstrong again. Oh, down he goes, but he manages to get a hand pass out to Ewart, but the umpire said he was tripped. So Armstrong at centre half back for the St Kilda side will take the free kick. 4 goals, 28 points apiece as we approach the 4-minute mark.
Ball into the open spaces. Now it goes to Morwood. Back to Neesham. To Brown. First gamer for St Kilda. Brown's kick on towards the centre wing position. The Saints go forward again. And ball driven up by Brown it was, I think. And the mark taken down there at full forward for them by Mace, who was best on the ground in St Kilda's last match here at VFL Park. Ackley coming off the ground. Well, running, but rather gingerly. Let's hope it's not a hamstring because they can be very troublesome. May just be a cork thigh. We'll wait on that as Mace takes the shot at goal and he's put it through for full point. It's in favour of the Saints at the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. It comes out to right. Almost came out to right. Umpire Nash has decided once again to ball it up. Musty and Saru. Musty taps it down, taken by Wayne Carroll, caught with the ball, holding the ball, free kick to St Kilda. Keel to take the free. Keel's gone for a short one out towards the right half forward flank, knocked further forward by Packham. Kotzer was there. It comes to Roberts. Roberts' high kick will land round about centre wing. Evans couldn't complete the mark. Very hard to take tonight. Here's Armstrong again, shoots out the hand pass. He's gone a little bit too far for Hewitt, who almost got offloaded there by Wayne Carroll. Keel tries to go for the hand pass. That wasn't successful. Slattery could get a free kick for a trip. And that will be the case. The former South Australian. Slattery up to half forward. Knocked to the ground by Kotzer. Scott having all sorts of trouble trying to pick that up as the ball beats him over the boundary line. It will be thrown in at half forward flank, with the score still the same, 5-4 to 4-4 in favour of St Kilda. Just over 6 minutes gone. Musty and Saru. Over to Keel. Too long for Slattery. Dennis Carroll is there. His handball was not particularly good. Back to Keel it comes. Keel is at the point of the square. He's gone for a short pass. Wright is there for the Swans, having trouble picking it up. So too is his teammate down there, and Lucas. And umpire Nash has once again decided to come in and ball it up. Well, we've certainly had plenty of ball-ups tonight, but the umpire's doing a particularly good job. It's knocked away by Saru. Duperuzal is there for the Saints, 15 metres out, runs into goal, and he's put it through for his second for the night.
Well, Bruce Duperuzal not only proving a wonderful example as captain for St Kilda, but a great goal sneak. Almost a permanent forward pocket player with the whole of the forward line at his disposal. And we see it again now as Saru gets the big punch out, almost tapped on by Mace. Then Duperuzal roving perfectly, and a very dangerous forward pocket player. And he's shown not just tonight, but in recent games, just how dangerous he can be.
OK, the score 6-4-40 St Kilda, the Swans 4-4-28. A lead of 12 points in favour of St Kilda. Chance for Saru. He got a big punch, but intercepted that time by Evans. A shocking kick off the side of the boot. Armstrong goes the punch. Finally, it comes back there to Wayne Carroll off the side of his boot out there towards Neesham. Flying high that time was Alphington to take a good mark. His kick is back towards the wing position. Slattery comes in, kicked off the ground by Danaher. Back to Saru. There's nearly a free kick, but the umpire said plain. It's knocked out again. Back to Evans. In plenty of trouble here. Couldn't get a hand pass back. Slattery missed it. Now it's hand pass by Keel. Out towards Barker. He lost sight of it. And the umpire said it'll be a ball up on the edge of the square up towards the centre wing position. Still plenty of fumbling going on, but that's understandable. Very bad conditions. We see Hewitt go down. Umpire said he was stripped or pushed, and he'll take the free kick on the centre wing position with a chance to put St Kilda back into attack again. Over their half forward line. Ball punched away. This time it's Kotzer coming through. He's pulled to the ground, a little bit too slow, and breaking out of Slattery. Down towards the forward pocket position. Curtin in the front posse. Outmanoeuvred Big Torbett that time. Finally it comes back to Curtin. A fresh air shot. Torbett's on his back, and the umpire's going to ball it up in the forward pocket position. He's paying a free kick. It'll go to Curtin. I don't know what that was for. Might have been on the shoulder. Umpire,
that's what he gave it for. It was a little bit tough under those circumstances,
yes.
I think.
Waiting on Curtin now to go for goal number 2 and put the Saints 18 points in front if he's successful. Not a bad sort of a kick. He's put it right through the middle.
7-4 to 4-4, 46 to 28 in favour of St Kilda, doing a particularly good job at the moment as they swing into attack again. The ball driven up towards their half-forward line. Packham is there, but there are 3 Swans defenders. Danaher over to Cruz. Cruz's kick going for the boundary line like a good half-back flanker should, and it will be thrown in almost up towards the centre wing position.
Pete, I can only assume that Barker may be injured because he's gone back to full forward again. And I really cannot understand that move.
Well, he may be carrying an injury that he got late in the first quarter, perhaps, because he played great football then, had 5 or 6 kicks, and was certainly the Saints' best player. Lucas, number 28, a last-minute inclusion in the Swans side. He replaced Mark Browning. Up to centre field. No mark paid. Carroll made sure his opponent didn't take it. John Roberts has gone for a hand pass. Gets it back to Rhys Jones. He's been fairly quiet tonight. Conlon. Hotly pursued, ball very close to the boundary line, and in fact it's over before Odgers can do much about it, and the throw-in will take place about 15 metres from the goals. There we see Armstrong getting attention. He's played particularly good football so far. He had 5 kicks and 9 handballs. So certainly one of St Kilda's best. Let's hope he's okay. Kellett and John Roberts do the ruck work. Back it comes to Hewitt, who gets grabbed very expeditiously. Picked up for the Swans again and driven forward by, that was Wayne Carroll. And the mark taken by Silvio Fascini. Fascini's already kicked 2 goals. Both of those have been on the run. I think the second was off the ground, actually. The first was a ripper. He's about 15 to 20 metres out from goal. A chance for a badly needed one to the Swans. Kicked by Fascini, hit the post. So bad luck for him, bad luck for the Swans. 4-5, 29. That's their first score of the third quarter. And it came up at the 11.5-minute mark.
Waiting for the ball to come back into play now for St Kilda. Out towards that half-back flank position. At the back is Rhys Jones. Staying at the back was Scott, but a push in the back. And it'll go out there to St Kilda's O'Donnell. O'Donnell's kick is out towards the wing position now. Not a great kick, and a mark taken by Scott. That was a shocking kick. Ball shot back over towards centre half forward, and there's a good mark taken in defence that time by Cunningham. Cunningham's a much bigger bloke than you'd expect, Bob. He's a pretty solid bloke now.
He would be one of the biggest wingmen in the game, wouldn't he?
That's Scott grabbing the ball now and sending South back into, or the Swans back into attack. Cunningham once again. A long hand pass, but a bad one there to Scott. He actually threw that out to Rhys Jones, but the umpires are pretty liberal tonight. Alfredson flew high that time, couldn't hold the mark. It's kicked off the ground. And finally it comes out to Fascini, playing it well in front of the pack that time. Goes for a short pass out wide. And the mark, fumble that time by Bernie Evans. That's Beecroft going after it now for the Swans. He's grabbed, they soon collar him, those Saint defenders. And coming out now is Alfredson again, playing a great game in this quarter as the ball goes back out there to Keel. He couldn't hold the mark. But there's the skipper, Duke Perusal, out there at half forward. Scoots around the pack, goes for a pass, looking for Barker. Couldn't hold the mark. Cruz has got him well covered at the moment. The ball back towards centre field, and a mark taken out on the edge of the square by Hewitt. Hewitt now ready to send St Kilda back into attack. Short pass, it's too long. It beat about 4th on that time. Back there towards Slattery. He tries to scoop it back and get it out to Little Packer, but he can't do so. And the umpire's going to ball it up. This time it's only about 10 or 12 metres out from the St Kilda goal. They're 46 points to the Swans 29. There's the bounce. Barker grabbed that one away from Torbett, but got into his back, and Big Torbett will take the free kick at full back for the Swans.
Steve Torbett. Short pass towards the pocket, taken by Cruz, Barker's opponent. And plenty of distance in the kick by Cruz. Carroll getting underneath it. It's knocked away from Rhys Jones. Goes to Cunningham. Flicks out the handball. Oops, a daisy. Conn upset his opponent there. Evans. Shane Morwood almost collides with Scott. The umpire has found a free kick going to Shane Morwood for a trip. And Armstrong still in trouble there. Maybe some sort of trouble with his jaw. Let's hope he's okay. Ball in the meantime comes back towards Neesham. Trying to scoop it into the open, not having much success. Picked up by Cunningham. Back to Beecroft. Or is it Torbett? Off the ground. Out it comes towards the members' stand wing. Evans will get there first for the Swans. Picks it up on the run okay. Handball to Scott. Scott into the forward pocket. No mark paid. Wild handball. O'Donnell gets a push in the back from Roberts seemingly, and Simon O'Donnell will take the free kick for St Kilda at the right half-back flank. Wayne Carroll standing on the mark as O'Donnell goes up towards the centre field area. Keel, number 17, hotly pursued by Carroll. Oh, some solid bumping work there. Duperusel does it very cleverly until he gets upset down there by Lucas, who comes out with the ball. A fair bump. Lucas's kick is wide, out towards the wing position. Neesham may get there first. Alfredson leading him in the race for the ball, though, which is now over the line. It will be a throw-in. Both players looking back at the umpire. See if a free was forthcoming. None was. And we see Armstrong now being taken off the ground, looking rather unhappy with the whole situation. So boundary throw-in. Torbett and Blease. It goes St Kilda's way. Barker in front of Cruz. Cruz doing the better of the job and clears the ball for the Swans.
Down over their half-forward line. Missing the ball that time was Hodges. This is given Fascini the break he needs, and he can scoot along the boundary line. Goes for a shot. He tries to dribble it through, but it's too wide and through for 1 point. It was a pretty smart kick on the part of Fascini that time. Didn't take the chance of trying to loft the ball. He tried to skid it through. So it's 7-4-46 St Kilda to the Swans 4-6-30. 16 points the difference. And there's a mark taken out there by Brown. Brown gets the ball back to the half-back flank position. Down goes little right, and there'll be a ball up here for sure. Out there on the St Kilda half-forward line, about 60 metres out from their goal. Ball kicked back now to Wayne Carroll. Finally, it's back to right. A chance to send the Swans back into attack. Finally over now to Scott. A shocking kick, but comes back to Rhys Jones. Tapped away that time by O'Donnell. Now a chance for John Roberts, and he's put it through for full points.
Points the difference, 46-36 in favour of St Kilda. Knocked away by Blees. Cruz getting well tackled by Trevor Barker. Now it comes to Ian Roberts at left half-back. Roberts' kick up towards the centre wing position. Ball still very, very slippery. Rhys Jones, as Bob said, now playing at half-forward. Caught with the ball, but the umpire has found a free kick to him. Rhys Jones, plenty of distance in his kick. Oh, Mace went for Bernie Evans and fixed him up well and truly, and has come out of it worse for wear. That was a nasty clash by both of them, and the umpire has found a free kick. It's going to Bernie Evans. Let's watch it again.
Yes, there's no doubting the free kick, and almost a good mark there as we see Thomas coming away.
Thomas player started at fullback. Slattery scouting well, comes out with the ball. He's gone for a pass. It's over the head of Cunningham, who's hotly pursued by Wright. And he's got a bit of speed too, this guy, despite the fact that he's fairly big, as Lou mentioned before. The pass is not particularly good. Cruz is there, picks it up well. Long handball is effective to Scott. Down towards half forward. Rhys Jones and Mace picked up by Evans. Evans has a snapshot at goal, and he's put it through for full points. Evans is first, and the Swans come a little bit closer.
There's a great play by Max Cruz there. Cruz, as we see Alex Jezelenko, Jack Clark and Ross Smith in the red jackets in the rear. But great play by Cruz to get the ball across to Scott, and Bernie Evans reading the ball beautifully. A great snap, but bounced through away from Thomas.
So it's 4 points the difference now at VFL Park. 7-4-6-6, 46 points to 42.
And we're just over the 19.5-minute mark of the third quarter. It'll be Beecroft against Saru for the centre bounce. Beecroft taps it down. Finally picked up by Evans, who kicked their last goal. Comes out to little Conlon. Hodges is right on his back there. He won't give him an inch. Finally, Rhys Jones comes in. But Alphington, I thought, just gave him a little bit of a push in the back. But the umpire said, no, it's out of bounds. On that half-forward line for South Melbourne, about 70 metres around from their goal. Only 4 points the difference now in favour of the St Kilda. Knocked out by the big fella, Saru. Over there to Fascini, a short kick coming out there. Oh, well, coming in very strongly this time is Cunningham. Finally, he lost sight of that one. Finally out now to Neesham. Over to right, spins out of the pack beautifully. Actually backed out. A snap for goal. It deserves one now, and it's through for full points. Minutes gone of this third quarter. 46 points St Kilda to the Swans 48. Chance here for Duperusel down there in the forward pocket. Steadies a left foot kick towards the goals. Curtin's in the position to take the mark. He couldn't hold that. It's finally forced through by Torbett and through for another point to the Saints. So it's only 1 point the difference. 7-5-47 St Kilda to the Swans 7-6-48.
Mark taken out there by Lucas. Lucas taking it in front of Packham. Lucas from the pocket. Brings it up the members' stand wing. Over the top was Elphinston. Couldn't take the mark. Shane Morwood is in there. Keel on the bottom of that little stack up, and umpire Nolan has decided to ball it up. It's about 55 metres out from goal. The ground in that particular part of the arena very heavy. Keel into the forward pocket. Curtin flies. Couldn't bring down the mark. Ball driven away by Danaher. Danaher's short kick up towards the centre square. Cunningham was there for St Kilda. Again, with that good pace that he possesses, puts the ball down short, and the mark taken again by Ian Roberts, who has done quite a few useful things down there in the pocket.
Yes, he's played exceptionally well, Pete.
Roberts' short pass is also effective, and Scott takes the mark.
So too is Scott.
In the back pocket. The ball brought right across the ground then. Rhys Jones underneath it, taken by O'Donnell, but he couldn't get rid of it quick enough. Evans pounces on it very quickly and drives it over the line in the middle of the players' interchange area, from where it will be thrown back into play.
It was bad luck for St Kilda losing Armstrong, because since Armstrong has gone off the ground, Bernie Evans has really come right into play.
Well, Armstrong is one of their best players up until the time he went off. I think he had 5 kicks and about 9 or 10 handballs. A very, very good exhibition by him. Elphinston can't kick there. It goes to Evans off the ground, and it will be unduly rough play. The free kick going to St Kilda, and it will be taken by Meehan. Meehan is on the centre wing position. Brings it to right half forward, knocked away from Cruz. Conlon roving well, almost gets himself into trouble there. Tried to do just a little bit too much with it. It may be out of bounds on the full. That will be the case.
Well, Pete, obviously there's nothing wrong with Trevor Barker, because Barker's now in defence.
Well, they've moved him around a bit, haven't they, since that very good first quarter. Keel has the free kick for the Saints. Up to full forward, almost a mark to Mace. Roberts tackles him. Likewise, Cruz goes in very solidly, and umpire Nolan has decided to ball it up. It's only about 20 metres out from goal. The real chance for a score, as we're just about into the time-on period of the third quarter. Saru and Beecroft hit Saru on the head. Again, very close to the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in.
A throw-in about 35 metres around from the St Kilda goal. Only a point the difference. 47 points St Kilda to the Swans 48. So it'll be a pretty tough last quarters. We go into the time-on period now by, we're not quite into it yet, about 26 seconds to go. Picked up by Keel. It falls a bit short. And there's a mark taken in defence by Torbett for the Swans. Torbett, there's a South player down. We'll pick him up in a moment. Could be Fashini, is it, or is it Carroll? It's Carroll.
Wayne Carroll.
Finally, the ball was kicked there by Evans, but another bit of a pack milling around there, and the umpire's going to ball it up again.
Scott it is.
Is it Scott?
38.
It's Brett Scott. So that's the second one I think he's copped tonight. Finally, there's the umpires found a free kick against Beecroft, and it'll go to Saru out there at half forward. A good 55 to 56 metres out from goal. It's a long kick. Doesn't make the distance. Going for a kick off the ground that time was Torbett out towards the boundary line. It beats them all. And once again, we'll see a throw in. This time it's about 40 metres around from the St Kilda goal.
And Scott doesn't look too good, does he?
Does not. 25.5 minutes gone of this third quarter. 7-5-47 St Kilda. The Swans 7-6-48 as the ball comes back into play. Saru and Beecroft knocked down by Saru towards the little fella Keel, but kicked off the ground by Torbett back towards that half back line. Conlon tries to pick it up. Keel's into his back. Umpire said plain, it's kicked off the ground again. That's Scott going after. He certainly recovered pretty well. Oh, he got one in the face that time from the ball. That young Shane Morwood. I think it was kicking the ball that time was, could have been,
Brown.
it might have been Brown, was it? Yeah, it was Brown, but that was an accident. Saru and Beecroft again. Saru's getting the tap out. Back there towards Bernie Evans. Hewitt's there. Taps the ball on pretty smartly. Chance now for Meehan. Shows plenty of pace. Now he's got to kick it. His kick is a hurried one down there towards Curtin, but it'll beat him, and the ball is out again once more on that St Kilda half-forward line. This time it's only about 10 metres around from their goal. Waiting for the throw-in again. Only 1 point the difference in favour of the Swans. 48 points to 47. Blease and Torbett. Torbett juggling the ball. Finally picked up again by Scott. The ball back there. Mark taken here by Blease. A running shot for goal. Will he make the distance? Punched on that time and through for 1 point. Curtin couldn't hold that, but it's pushed through. What are you saying, Bob? I can't get him.
Curtin kicked the ball.
Oh, what did I say? It was Blease, did I? Oh, well. They're very much alike. Just well he didn't mark it himself. Finally, the ball went out there towards that wing position. And a chance now for little Keel to break clear. Keel goes for a long kick. There's a chance now for Blease to mark it. He couldn't hold that one back there towards Macy. Swamped upon there. Couldn't get clear. There's a bit of a battle going on there, and the umpires decided to ball it up. This time only about 3 or 4 metres out from the St Kilda goal.
Well, a real chance for a St Kilda score here with the three-quarter time siren not too far away. Knocked away by Danaher. No headway being made at all. Bernie Conlon comes out with the ball, gives it to Torbett. Torbett's clearing kick towards the half-back line. 3 St Kilda players are there. They shepherd for Slattery, who threads his way through. Cunningham over to Keel, who runs into trouble, tries to get out of it. The kick into the forward pocket could be a little bit too long. It's over the line, and no. Yeah, I thought it went out the full. Yes, I was trying to work out those signals from the goal umpire, and it will be a free kick to Ian Roberts. Ian Roberts takes the free. Saru in the middle, Carroll at the back. Neither can take the mark. It goes to the Swans' Neesham. Neesham's handball is effective to Bernie Evans. Hewitt has a three-quarter time siren goes. Not a long quarter, about 28.5 minutes actually. And the scores are all tied up. 7 goals, 6:48 to 7-6-48. Again level as they were at half-time, so you couldn't get a more even game. In that quarter, both teams kicking 3 goals too. The goal kickers for St Kilda, 2 to Duperuzal and 2 to Curtin. They had 1 each to Mace, Hewitt and Barker. For the Swans, Vashini has kicked 2 goals. Wright has kicked 2. And Roberts, Evans, Musty and Conlon 1 each. OK, that's it at three-quarter time. Let's go down to the boundary line. Here's Stephen Phillips.
Thanks, Peter. Just shed some light on those injuries that both sides have suffered up to date. Young Paul Armstrong, according to Ross Smith, has injured his cheekbone. He's just run back out onto the ground. For South Melbourne, Shane Morwood was spitting out mouthfuls of blood at one stage, and the doctor went out there and thought he might have broken his nose. David Ackley has done some damage to his hamstring. He iced at that quarter and is available to go back on if absolutely necessary. And Brett Scott, there was some feeling that he might have been knocked out for just a moment or two. So a few casualties, but both teams steeling themselves for a big last quarter.
Right, thanks, Stephen. And just checking those goal kickers I gave you. Wright has kicked 2 for the Swans. In fact, he has kicked 1 goal and Fashini has kicked 2.
It's been rather
We'll take these messages and we'll be back for the final quarter in just a few. It's a goal to start the final quarter. Full points. Well,
yes.
South couldn't have started better, Bob.
Well, that's exactly what Ricky Quaid would have hoped for. When you level pegging at three-quarter time, to not only put the first goal on the board, but to do it within less than a minute. And right now we see the angle from which John Roberts was kicking, and just by how far Callett missed the ball in trying to touch it, no doubting a goal. And there's Ricky Quaid with Tony Franklin in the foreground. So Quaid would be happy with the result of that first minute.
1 minute gone in the final quarter, and the Swans leading by that goal. Saru and Scott knocked away by Scott. Past Beecroft. Wright goes down as the ball booted up towards the Saints centre half forward position. Duperuzal seemingly diving forward, and nevertheless has come out of it with a free kick. Duperuzal has kicked 2 goals for the Saints so far. Gets it up to full forward. Nobody can complete the mark down there. Very scrambly play. Evans, I think, is on the bottom of the pack as the umpire has decided to ball it up. It's about 30 metres out from goal as once again the fog decides to come down. The third quarter was all right. It almost disappeared. Conlon goes over, can't take the ball with him. Packham drops it pretty quickly for St Kilda, and the umpire has decided to ball it up.
Maybe the loss of Armstrong and the fact that Bernie Evans has been playing so well has been forced the move of Barker, because Evans on the half-forward line is now being looked after by Trevor Barker. So obviously the form of Bernie Evans means that St Kilda trying to stop him.
Little Packham got a hand pass out there towards Meehan, but the umpire's found a free kick to Meehan, and he'll take that free kick a little short of the half-forward line, about 45 metres out from goal. Right on the boundary line, and a goal the difference in favour of the Swans. Kicked by Meehan, is up there towards the forward pocket. Punched away that time by Mace, comes back there to Big Beecroft, well collared by Slattery, and the umpire said he had no hope of getting rid of it, and it'll be a ball up. This time it's only about 20 metres out from the St Kilda goal. Plenty of players milling around there. Those South Melbourne, or the Swan defenders, I should say, coming in, knocked out that time by Beecroft, punched on by Wright. They're all missing at the moment. That's Shane Morwood picking it up now for the Swans, driving it back towards centre field. Well, they missed that mark badly. Hodges, finally it's kicked out wide. Chance for Fashini over to Evans. A very dangerous play in that third quarter. Down it goes to Roberts. Coming out in front of Roberts now is Big Thomas. He won't take a chance. He taps it on and makes the difference. 7 points now in favour of the Swans. So it's 7-6-48 St Kilda to the Swans 8-7-55. The ball back into play again. Out there towards Barker. Couldn't hold that mark, but he recovers okay. Gets around to Parney. Better kick it quickly. He does. Kicks it to really no one. Carroll couldn't pick that up. That's Kotzer going after it now. still controlling the ball out there on the wing position. Finally gets it out towards right. His kick falls a bit short, tapped on by Saru. Back here to Wayne Carroll. A bit of a fumble and the ball is out of bounds. This time it's on the Swans half-forward line, about 65 metres around from their goal. They're 7 points in front at the moment. 55 points to St Kilda 48.
Jeff Saru and Scott. Down it comes past Rhys Jones, flicked out to Brown. Brown is at the point of the square now and will put St Kilda deep into attack. Talbot couldn't take the mark. Hand pass comes out past Ian Roberts, taken by his opposite number 17 in Keel. Over it goes to Meehan. Meehan's high kick up towards the forward pocket. Fisted away again by Danaher. Cruz can't trap it. Over to Danaher again. He gets ridden into the ground and umpire Neville Nash has decided to ball it up. I think these umpires have done a pretty good job under very difficult conditions here this evening. Packham. Over it goes to Meehan. Into the goal square. No score, out of bounds, and a real chance, though, nevertheless, for the Saints to put one on the board. They still haven't added to their three-quarter time total, which was 7-6. So 48-55 in favour of the Swans. Nearly 5 minutes gone in the final term. Talbot and Blease. Talbot wins it. Duperuzal tackles solidly. Out it comes to Keel, right on the boundary line. And Kotzer takes him over very, very smartly. And so once again, we'll see a boundary throw in. Still about 25 metres around from the goal. Blease and Talbot. Neither gets an effective tap at that one. Packham in short. Ball kicked out of the danger zone for the Swans by Danaher. Cunningham going the punch. Back to Fashini. Close to out of bounds. Picked up by Keel. A snapshot at goal from the boundary line is not too bad. Touched and through for 1 point. So that's St Kilda's first score in the final quarter. And that makes the difference in the quarter final. An even goal.
It was bad luck for Keel there. It was a great piece of football. He's been a fine player right throughout the night and hit the post then. Just bad luck as Scott takes the ball away.
Short pass to Scott down there in the back pocket. Saru got up high. At the back was Rhys Jones. Dropped that. This allows Barker to go for a short kick. Back out there towards the Hewitt. Hewitt's tacked here. Rhys Jones trying to spin at the pack, but Barker's got him. Down he goes, and the umpire said it'll be a free kick against him. I don't know what that was for, really.
Well, he indicated that he didn't. He felt that Rhys Jones didn't knock the ball on, and at times it can be very hard on players.
Okay, the ball down there towards Duperuzal, picked up by Kotzer. Good play this time. He goes down, and the St Kilda players pounce on him, but it's out of bounds. It's only about 25 metres around from their goal. A goal the difference. 55 points to the Swans, to St Kilda 49 as we approach the 7-minute mark of the last quarter. Ball knocked out by Talbot. Punched on that time by Scott. And we see Scott pick it up again. He's doing pretty well. Finally, Hewitt tries to get clear to Duperuzal. He's got one on the back to Blease. Over there to Keel. Oh, he lost sight of the goals completely and kicked it out of bounds on the full. I think he was a bit bewildered, the little fella, that time.
Must have been the fog, Lou.
Could have been.
He's done well, though.
He's battled pretty hard. He's a trier.
Entitled to one mistake.
I'll say. The ball back into play again. At the back there is Cunningham. Couldn't hold the mark. Alphonston going after it now on that half-forward line. He's grabbed. Could be holding the ball against him. It is. And the free kick to go to Dennis Carroll down. There's a bit of a box on. Little rights in that. But the free kick will go down there to Dennis Carroll. A little short of half-back for the Swans. There's still a goal in front. Back it comes, punched away again. There's a chance now for St Kilda. Knocked on by Slattery. And we see Mace can't pick it up. In goes Cruz, kicked off the ground by Meehan. There's a bit of a race now. Going through is Dennis Carroll again. A high kick towards that centre field position. Punched away again by St Kilda. Back it goes towards that little Fashina. He slunk to the ground. Kicked off the ground by Beecroft. Kicked off the ground again by Evans. Up there towards the half-forward line. They're all missing at the moment. Thomas can't pick it up. Finally, Roberts got one in the gob that time. It was a bit of bad luck because Thomas tried to knock the ball away. I reckon it was a bit of an accident that time.
Well,
what would you say, Bob? You don't think so, being a...
Well, we'll have another look and see what happens.
Oh, well, I've changed my opinion now.
Thought you might.
Oh, well, that's in the game, isn't it? Makes everybody happy on these cold nights, particularly starts to sting a bit as we see see Fashini, not Fashini, Neesham take that free kick down there in the forward pocket position. Oh, it was a pretty good one, actually. Roberts got his hands that couldn't hold the mark. It didn't stun him very much. He seems okay there.
The pride and the glory's on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the score at the moment. At the just over the 8.5 minute mark, 7-7-49 St Kilda to the Swans 8-8-56.
Ball driven towards the outer side of the ground, and the mark taken by Mace in front of the small scoreboard. And the fog, Beecroft, I was going to say misses an easy mark, but no marks are easy here tonight. Short passes up in the direction of Scott, and Scott has taken the mark about 50 metres out from goal. He's played very well for the Swans tonight, one of their best players, and copped a nasty knock. I think it was in the third quarter, from which he seems to have recovered. Beautiful kick, plenty of distance in it, just slightly off target, 3-4-1 behind to the Swans. And the check of the scores sees it this way: St Kilda 7-7 and the Swans 8-9. So they're going along quite nicely at the moment, the Swans, for a position in the semi-finals of the Escort Championships. A free kick for in the back. It will be going to Cunningham.
I can't but get the opinion that Grant Thomas must be injured, because when he did kick out during the third term, he was kicking left foot, and in this quarter he hasn't had a kick out at all.
And Saru taking that kick to left half forward. Here's the chance for Keel, and he gets shirt fronted by Lucas. In the meantime, the ball comes out to Curtin. Curtin has a flying shot at the goals. It's too long for Blease, and the mark taken in the back pocket by it's Ian Roberts, I think it is. Or was it Danaher down there? Danaher it is. A little Keel flies. He can't take the mark. Evans trying to get clear over to Rhys Jones. Rhys Jones to Bernie Conlon. Conlon from the right half-back flank brings it up to the centre wing position. Kellett getting underneath it, nearly collided with his teammate out there in O'Donnell, and subsequently the ball over the boundary line. No talking by the St Kilda players, and we will see a throw in on the centre wing position. Torbett and Saru. Saru got it down, couldn't find a rover. Slattery's there now. Rhys Jones battling it out with him. Tries to get it in turn over to Wayne Carroll. Not successful in executing that move. And umpire Nolan has decided again to ball it up. 7-7 to 8-9 is the score. 10.5 minutes have gone. Final quarter with the Swans in the lead. Saru. Well, the Saints just haven't been able to get a run-on game going at all in this final quarter. And once again, it will be a ball up. Not much further from the last. Saru again doing the ruck work. Wins it from Beecroft. It will be a free kick to Beecroft, which he will take round about the centre wing position.
Well, the score, 49 points St Kilda to the Swans 57 as we approach the 11.5 minute mark of this last quarter. Beecroft with the ball, a little short of half forward. So with the centre half forward position now, Roberts in front. Ball tapped down, grabbed here by Brown, a hurried hand pass. Backing up well as Dennis Carroll. Kicks it down there looking for Wayne. Carroll flies, couldn't hold the mark. Coming in to meet it now is Thomas, and forced it through for 1 point to the Swans again. So the score 7-7, 49 St Kilda to the Swans 8 goals, 10-58. A difference of 9 points. Ball back into play again. Off the top of the pack, a chance for O'Donnell to get it. Well tackled that time by Rhys Jones, but O'Donnell won't give up, taps it out again. And finally breaking clear there is Cunningham. The ball goes back out there towards the wing position. Down goes Keel. Got a chance to recover, get away from Kotzer, but he's going after him. Well played by Keel that time. Hand pass coming out to Curtin. Fumble that. This allows Danaher to shoot the ball back towards the half-back line. O'Donnell goes for the punch, misses it, but put his opponent off target that time and push in the back, and it'll go to the little... Oh, he's going to get up and have a bit of a dash. It'll go to Conlon out there on the wing position. Certainly doesn't lack any courage, this guy.
No doubt about that.
Like a little fighter. Finally, that's a good mark taken there by Roberts. A good distance out from goal. Would be about 55 metres out from goal as he kicks it high now. Well, there might be a free kick. It might go to Hodges against Fashini for a push in the back. And Hodges takes that free kick down there in the back pocket. 9 points the difference. Short pass. Out it goes. Now's a chance now for the... Mace kicking the ball long back there towards that centre half forward position. Punched away by Torbett. And squibbing on the ball there is Morwood. Kicks it across to centre half forward. But Barker waiting back there. Should have gone for the tap out. It's finally picked up that time by O'Donnell. A hand pass coming out to Big Cunningham again. Short pass. Chance here now for little Keel to trap the ball. He goes for a hand pass out towards Duperusel. He gets around... Lucas that time, a hand pass coming over to me, and it could be a goal, but it's a shocking kick off the side of his boot and out of bounds.
Well, have they missed some goals in this quarter, Bob?
Well, it's easy to say so from up here, but Meehan, the golden opportunity to hand pass to Curtin, but as I said, even though it's foggy, it's a lot easier from up here.
Well, they're almost unseeable out there. Ball comes up to the centre wing where Beecroft almost takes control of it, pretty close to the boundary line. And that's, I think, Darryl Hewitt getting the ball back into play towards half forward. Morwood on the bottom. Conlon back to right. The handball over to Evans. Kick number 17 coming up for Bernie Evans. Has it short towards full forward, and the mark taken down there for St Kilda by Thomas, Grant Thomas. Gets away from Roberts. Too long out there for Neesham. Mark taken by Hewitt. Short pass out to Meehan. Meehan is on the centre wing position. Into the fog it comes out there. Picked up by Mace. Mace has gone for a short pass, and the mark taken down there for St Kilda by Packham. That fog's very, very thick out there.
Pretty thick down there on that forward pocket now.
Just take it any time you like, Lou.
Oh, carry on. You're doing a good job down there, Pete.
With X-ray vision. Packham would be 35 to 40 metres out, or even less. You still can't put it through, though. It's gone through for 1 point. And so St Kilda have missed a couple. Keel missed a couple. Now Packham has missed one, and Meehan missed one before. So 8 points the difference in favour of the Swans. And they look as though they could be able to take it out. However, there's still plenty of time as the mark is taken down there by Shane Morwood in front of the trainer's bunker. And that's on the half-back flank. Missed by Neesham. He's first to recover. Elphinston's right there with him. Over he goes. Scoop back past Blease. Out to Wright. Wright's kick is only a short one. Up it comes towards the point of the square. Little Fashini doing battle in the front of that pack, trying to pick it up, not having much success. Carroll comes in to assist him. Umpire Nolan has either found a free kick or has decided to ball it up. He will ball it up at centre half forward. Still 8 points the difference here in the Escort quarter-final from VFL Park in Melbourne, and a very foggy arena it is this evening. Torbett loses that one to Blease. Over it goes to Keel, who flicks out the hand pass to Cunningham. The Saints moving it well now. Off the side of the boot, a shocking kick by Cunningham. It could still find Slattery, though. Torbett. Back it comes again towards the wing position. Cunningham again trying to pick it up. Almost got tripped. Succeeds in getting it back to Barker. His kick is off the side of the boot. Fashini, great mark. And Fashini will be played that at centre half back.
Great save by Fashini down there, a little short of centre half back.
Yeah, the sort of marks that win games.
Certainly give the other players a lot of encouragement. Kick back there towards Barker again. That's a shocking kick. There's a chance now for Slattery to go for a hand pass. He does. And it's Meehan. Oh, that's a bad one by Meehan. Back to Slattery again. Might have got a free kick here, or dropping the ball against him, he said. Didn't have much chance. Tell you what, it's getting pretty foggy there now as we see Cruz with the ball out wide. Punched away again by Cunningham. Back it goes to Blease, a soccer job. Down towards the forward pocket. Oh, bumped over that time. There's a chance now for Cruz to lose, but it's finally picked up again by Lucas. Lucas's kick is down there towards the wing position, and that's right taking it off the top of the pack. He's in a bit of trouble here, but finally gets a kick across towards that centre half forward position. Neesham couldn't hold it. Thomas tries to get clear of the pack, gets a short kick back there now, and it's finally picked up by St Kilda's Brown. A short pass. Oh, Meehan dropped an easy one, but he's recovered okay. A long kick down towards that forward pocket. Finally, it comes out to Cruz again. Packham goes after him, upended him, got him. He couldn't get clear, and Packham coming out now, trying to get the ball out to Slattery. Slattery goes down, and we see in there too is the big fella Kotzer, and it'll be a ball up or a free kick to Kotzer down there in the back pocket for the Swans. So it's 7-8-50 St Kilda, the Swans 8-10-58 as we approach the 17.5-minute mark.
It's like a smoke screen out there, isn't it?
I think it might be Roberts taking the free kick, is it? Back it goes there, and the umpire said okay as we see Reece Jones get the ball out there on the wing position, out wide. Coming in to meet it now is Cunningham.
Thomas.
No, it's Thomas.
I think it was Thomas.
By golly, this fog is a terrific over here now. That was Thomas. And finally now, I think I've lost the ball. It's out there on the boundary line. There'll be a throw in from that half-forward line.
Keep going, Lou, would you please?
Okay, the ball out of bounds on that half-forward line. Finally pushed out again and picked up by Little Keel. Got one in the face. The umpire said play on. Finally, it's kicked back towards centre field. Chance there for Danaher to mark. Couldn't hold that one. in the front posses. There's Torbett, he goes down. Back it goes now again out towards the wing position. Breaking clear is Meehan. Meehan's kicking us out wide. A chance for Mace to mark the ball. He drops that one. Cruises on his tail there. He's got clear. Hand pass coming over now to Hewitt out there on that half-forward line. A long kick up there towards the goals, and it's thick up there. A mark. It's a mark.
Slattery.
Mark to Slattery. He's only about, let me see, no more than about 15 metres out. Well, I can't see the goals here too well, but he's, I'd say 15 or 20 metres out, and you can see how thick it is. Slattery, you have to kick a goal, and if he kicks this one, it'll be 2 points the difference.
It's much clearer on the monitor, though, Lou.
Yeah, I'll say it is. And he's missed it, I think, in 1 point.
Will be booted back into play. You've heard the expression as thick as a London fog. Well, as thick as a VFL park fog might be just as applicable from here on in as it comes out towards the half-forward line for St Kilda. Picking it up is Rhys Jones, I think. Now he's lost it. Over it comes to Meehan. Or it could have been Hewitt. And your guess is as good as mine who got that one. Up it comes to Danaher, and looks like a Danaher mark, or is it out of bounds? I think it might be out of bounds down there. It was Danaher's ball.
Well, they're doing plenty of attacking St Kilda, but there's one thing they can't do, find the goals, and I don't blame them.
Neither can we. It's in the forward pocket, we can tell you that with accuracy. And the Saints forward pocket at the back is Saru, missed it, we could understand that. Snapshot at goal for St Kilda by Hewitt. Up towards the 10-metre square. The umpire calls no mark. Ian Roberts will get there first for the Swans. He's going to play it defensively towards the boundary line on the other side, and he'll be quite content to see it go over that line as we go down to Stephen Phillips, I think, on the boundary line.
Thanks, Peter. As a matter of fact, things are so bad down here that Ricky Quaid and all the South Melbourne Brains Trust have had to come out of the coach's box. They just can't see the football.
Well, they're not the only ones, believe me. It's one of the most difficult matches I think I've ever done in my life. The handball comes away from Carroll. Back it comes to Cunningham, who missed it. Dennis Carroll goes through solidly. Boots it out towards the centre wing position. Down it comes, and the mark is taken on centre wing by Kellett, it will be. So Kellett to put the Saints back into attack. He's gone inboard. And that was a shocking pass, actually, intended for Blease. Picked up by John Roberts, flicked out to Neesham. He's almost collared by Keel, but Neesham's kick up towards Bernie Evans. One of the leading kick getters on the ground. 18 kicks to Evans, down towards full forward for the Swans. It's going goalwards. Will it bounce through? For 1 point it is.
23 minutes gone of this last quarter. Still 8 points the difference in favour of the Swans, as the umpire will ball it up on that centre wing position. Well, we've seen some foggy nights here at the VFL Park, but this is the best. Beecroft gets it knocked out. Knocked out again by Cunningham, and the ball is out of bounds again on the centre wing position.
It's particularly heavy down that end at the moment in front of the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's at the block at the scoreboard now. There it is. And, of course, you can understand why the players are having difficulty picking the ball up. Out it goes now to Bernie Evans. He's grabbed by Elphinston, but they're all fumbling again, and there'll be a ball up. This time it's a little bit further up towards the St Kilda half-forward line. Still 8 points the difference in this foggy night. Blease got the tap down, kicked off the... Oh, there's one free kick. He'll go against Conlon to Elphinston, and he'll take that free kick at half-forward. Well, 8 points is worth about 5 goals tonight. Short pass over. I know he saw his teammate, then I couldn't see him. Punched on again that time by Curtin. Down towards the forward pocket, a bit of a stack up here. No one making much progress, and the umpires decided to ball it up. Out there at centre half forward, about 45 metres out. Have a look at that. It is unbelievable, really. But give the players full marks. They're still battling on. And what about a pat in the back sometimes for the commentators? Because I'll tell you what, I don't know what we can see, but it looks good at the moment. What about all of us? At any rate, fair enough. We're enjoying the game as both sides are putting up a valiant effort. The ball there at centre half forward. Plenty of packs gathering around as it's finally pushed out. Kicked off the ground by Evans. A chance now for Slattery to get clear. Slattery's along the ground. He's trying to break through the pack. They pounce on him. Roberts is there too. Finally, Slattery going, tapping the ball out again. No one can make much progress there, and the umpire's going to ball it up. This time it's only about 15 metres out from the St Kilda goal. I think it's only 15 metres any rate. Now the umpire's found a free kick, and the free kick will go down there.
It's Torbett.
It'll be Torbett to take the free kick down there at the full-back position, with 8 points the difference in favour of the Swans.
Hasn't had many kicks, Torbett, but he's done a fine job for South down there.
Yes, he hasn't been a bad player, Bob, as the ball goes back to Saru. Barker's got it now. Bit of a fumble, but he gathers it in nicely up there towards the full forward position. If anyone marks this, they're worth $1 million. Curtin got his hands to it, couldn't hold it. Cruz is there in the thick of things for the South defence, but the umpire will ball it up this time about 20 metres out from the St Kilda goal, and they're still 8 points down.
Here's some time running out for them. There's the Torbett, taps it down. Nobody making any headway again. Very, very scrambly play down there. Carroll put his body in well, tried to block it, not successful. Out it comes to Evans. As I said before, one of the Swans' leading kick getters, and he played it correctly for them and boots it over the boundary line in front of the players' interchange area, from where it will be thrown back into play. And mercifully, it's a little bit clearer there than it was down in front of the goal. So a boundary throw in. As I said, time running out for the Saints. Saru in front. Got the tap down over the head, down to Barker. Rhys Jones has got the pace. Shepherd's well. Evans over to Wayne Carroll. Wayne Carroll is at right half forward. The Swans could wrap it up here if they get a goal. Into the forward pocket it comes now. Plenty of distance, and there's the siren. The Swans have won it, and they move into the semi-finals of the Escort Championships for 1982. The final scores 8-11-59, defeating St Kilda 7-9-51. So a victory to the Swans by 8 points. A very low-scoring game, certainly understandable under the adverse conditions we had to battle with here tonight. And yet you can see that fog, just that particular patch down there near the goal, and it certainly did cause us quite a few problems in the latter stages of that quarter. But a good win to the Swans, and they now advance, as I said, to the semi-finals of the Escort Championships.
Well, I think it caused everybody some concern, and you've got to give full marks to the umpires, Bob, and the players, because seeing the conditions were so bad, they still fought it out well and put on a pretty good show. It was a close game. We must admit the style wasn't the greatest, but they put on a pretty close game. Only 8 points the difference. St Kilda 7-9-51 went down to the Swans 8 goals 11-59.
AFC Football and 7, a premiership team.
The Swans finishing a little bit better than the Saints in that quarter, kicking 1 goal 5 to the Saints, adding only the 3 points. The goal kickers for the match for the Swans initially, Fashini got 2, John Roberts 2, and singles to Evans, Wright, Musty and Conlon. For St Kilda, 2 goals each to Curtin and Duperuzal, and singles to Barker, Hewitt and Mace. An 8-point victory to the Swans, and as I said, they advance to the semi-finals of the Escort Championships for 1982. The player that's best on the ground tonight will shortly be presented with the Thorn 34cm colour portable from, as I said, Canberra. Nobody can like Canberra can. A great prize to be awarded shortly, and really also to be awarded shortly at the end of the Escort series will be from Ross Holden, the Holden Commodore. That's for the most outstanding game of the series during the 1982 Escort Championships. All right, gentlemen, some quick comments before we go to Scott Palmer on your best players.
Well, we had players that, without being outstanding, everyone tried. A lot of players tried. There wasn't much scientific football played. You've got to say that Evans did a pretty good job. I thought that Scott was a very good player. Cruz did some tough work down there in defence for South Melbourne. Roberts was a handy player, also in defence. And you've got to give full marks to young Keel, who never stopped trying all night. And I thought that Cunningham, after a slow start in the first quarter, was a very good player for St Kilda. And not forgetting Hewitt, who seemed to battle on it. I think it was a real battler's night without the skilled players. But it's a difficult one. And, well, I'd like to reserve my judgment for about 2 or 3 minutes.
That's the best bit of buck passing you have.
No, it's not buck passing. But
I thought it was bad luck.
Pardon? What's that?
Go on, you go for yours.
I'll go for Bernie Evans. He's my best.
Well,
I'll
I think that Evans played well, but I was going to go for Scott. I thought he put up a pretty good performance. Then again, I thought about little Keel, who played for St Kilda. I thought he battled hard all night.
Bob?
I thought that St Kilda were very unfortunate that Armstrong had to leave the field.
Yeah.
It meant that they had to throw the side around a bit, and it left Bernie Evans to run free across the half-forward line. I was very impressed with young Brown in the centre. I thought for a first upper, he's a very good player. I thought that Hewitt was a exceptionally good player. Talbot and Roberts did well, as did Scott. But I thought the two best players on the ground were Keel of St Kilda and Evans of South Melbourne.
Well, I'm going for Keel.
Right, we'll
Well,
take
you haven't named one yet.
I have gone for Keel.
Who have you gone for?
I went for Keel before Bob did.
OK, we'll total up the votes, and while that's being
Who are you
evaluated
going
and
for?
decided, I told you I'd gone for Evans.
All right, that's fair.
OK. Anyway, we'll tally up the votes and come back for the decision to win the Canberra Award. But first of all, let's go to the punchlines this week of Scotty Palmer.
Good evening, football fans, young and old. Welcome to Punchlines. Collingwood have done it at last. They've made a move for a rover who could finally end up at Victoria Park. The Magpies, they've asked Fitzroy for permission to interview young Adrian Marcon, the 19-year-old star at Preston. The Lions, they've agreed to meet this week to set a price on the kid they think could have won a Liston trophy. If the Magpies meet it, and I expect it to be about $20,000, new coach Mick Irwin could have a second rover in his side this week. Remember, there is only 3 more shopping weeks left in football before clearances close, and I expect Carlton to clear another one of its strong backup players. He played well in the statewide cup match last Sunday and would attract sides looking for a tough utility. No names at this stage, but the clubs know about it. Speculation is rife about whether half-forward John Hendry will make an attempt to break away from the Hawks. Some clubs have been reluctant to talk to Bomber about a clearance because of the expected high transfer fee. South Fremantle, they've been knocked back on 3 players this week: Mark Jackson, Derek Shaw and Stan Magro, although a couple of those could be going west in 1983. Socially, Essendon is in a whirl over the wedding of Terry Danaher on Friday night. Some of the Bombers are wondering whether Kevin Sheedy is getting soft, allowing a player to be married mid-season. And of course, the coaching scene is rife with rumours. St Kilda denied emphatically today that they'd approached Tom Hafey or intend approaching him. General Manager David Wanless said that Alex Jesselenko was coach for this season, and that's the way it would remain. About Footscray, where the discussions have been as closely guarded as those in the Kremlin. All sorts of names are popping up: Bissett, Jewell, Thorpe. One that interested me, however, was Ted Whitten Sr., who coached the Bulldogs for 13 seasons in the good old days. But Ted told me today, I haven't been asked. Would you take it, Ted? I haven't been asked, he said. I did hear, however, that Royce Hart now has been demoted a step further by Footscray and is coach of the under-19s. That's coaching.
For the Best Player Award to win the Canberra TV set from Thorn. 3 votes to Peter Keel, 2 votes to Bernie Evans, and we hope to be making the presentation to Peter in just a few moments. But first of all, let's go to the Swans dressing room. Doug Wade with the Swans coach, Ricky Quaid.
Ricky, what you could see of the game, was it a good win for you?
Well, it was, pleasing to win a close one anyway, Doug. We've lost, 3 by less than a goal, and that's the first close one we've won. So from that point of view, it was very pleasing.
Just looking at the game, and you said up there you went down to the boundary line in that last quarter. It was very difficult to see the game.
Yeah, it was certainly impossible to see the other side from the coach's box, and I went down to the boundary line, but it was, unfortunately, it was worse there because you're looking through the fog, but luckily we managed to hang on anyway.
Rick, good players that spring to mind as far as you're concerned in your team tonight.
I thought Cruz did, pretty well early, and Stephen Talbot did a good job, and Brett Scott and Rhys Jones did some really hard things, and it was from that point of view it was pleasing.
Your match next week against North Melbourne and Sydney, that's going to be the real one that you want to win.
Yes, Doug. The previous 2 weeks to last Saturday had been pretty disappointing for us, but if you can get an out of a defeat, at least on Saturday against Richmond, they were a good side, and we did pretty well against them, and our endeavour and a lot of those type of things came back to us, and we're going to have to be at our best day to beat North Melbourne.
Yes, certainly. The big boy, he just quite hasn't stuck it yet, has he?
Young Trevor Musty?
Yeah.
No, but these conditions are pretty difficult for him also, Doug, but we're going to persevere with Trevor. He's a good young fellow, and he's got time, and we'll certainly give him the chances to mature.
Well, congratulations on the win. Rick, that means what? About another 20,000. So you're up for 45,000 next
Yeah,
time you
it's
play.
tremendous. Yeah, it's really great. And I think if we can get through the grand final, it'll be tremendous for the club. I like to see the players sort of playing in the finals atmosphere, whether it's a night football or whatever. Doug, it's good for them.
Good experience for them.
Yep.
Okay, Rick. Thanks very much. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
Back to you, Peter.
Right, thank you, Doug. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, the player judged best on the field tonight by a team of commentators, St Kilda's Peter Keel. Let's go to the Saints dressing room now and Jack Edwards.
Thank you very much, Peter. Well, I have with me another Peter Keel. Congratulations on picking up the Thorn TV from Canberra.
Thanks very much.
You looked rather stunned when I told you you'd won the television set.
It was a bit, yeah, that's for sure.
And now, what about tonight's game? You have one vivid memory of it, don't you? A shot for goal.
Yeah, it's a shocking shot for goal. Out in the full. Yeah, and I missed another one in the last quarter. But both in the last quarter, I think.
Well, St Kilda had many chances to take the game out, but they either weren't good enough or South pressured you out of it.
Yeah, so they pressured our forward line, especially in the last quarter. We seemed to have all the play, but just couldn't score. Couldn't score any goals.
What were the conditions like out there? It was hard enough up top trying to watch it. What was it like to play in?
Oh, it was pretty slippery. Couldn't grab the ball very firmly at all. It was every time we go to grab it, it'd slip out or someone would knock it out. But it was pretty foggy too at times in patches.
Peter, you haven't played many games for St Kilda at this stage, have you?
No, not many at all. Played 11-day games, and this is my second night match.
Would this be your best performance for the club?
Oh, it's hard to say. I thought I was a bit inconsistent today. I thought my second half was, all right, but my first half wasn't really good, whereas other days I played better, more consistently all day.
Alex Jezelenko hasn't said much to you boys tonight about losing this game. Do you think you'll have some more words to say later on?
Oh, possibly could, yes. Or Thursday night or tomorrow night or something.
Well, Peter, congratulations once again on winning the Thorn coloured telly from Canberra, and I know all the boys do appreciate taking out the trophy.
Right, thanks very much. Yes, it's much appreciated, that's for sure.
The statistics for Peter Keel, let's take a look at them. Marks, well, there weren't too many marks taken tonight, but a total of 13 kicks and 14 handballs, 27 possessions, and
we haven't seen that too often in the night games.
No, that's right. And of course, as he pointed out in that interview, had a shocking shot for goal. In fact, I think he kicked one out of bounds and that one point.
That's
they were
right.
both within range too.
Oh, he's a player that's going to improve. He's a try. He's got a lot of go about him, and I like Scott's
very
game, John.
unselfish player. I think that knock that Brett Scott got late in the third term really took quite a bit out of him. Bernie Evans, as we said, was an effective player, and I was really impressed with young Brown in the centre for St Kilda. His first game was most impressive from my point of view, and I thought that South would be extremely pleased with the effort of the big fellow Torpet in defence. Didn't have a lot of kicks, but he certainly was one of the tight defenders that kept them quiet, and also Ian Roberts.
I like the player there for St Kilda. Played at half back. He got a nasty knock on the cheekbone. Had to go off the ground. Was Armstrong. He looked as though he could have been just about the best player on the ground up at that stage of the match.
It was summed up pretty well, I think, by the fact that St Kilda failed to kick a goal in that last term, even though they had numerous opportunities. And it was the fact that South did make the most of the opportunities, kicks to score. St Kilda had 22 to 19. So we see there St Kilda having 3 more scoring shots at goal, but not getting them. St Kilda on top in the knockouts, 38 to 29. And now going down, naturally not a lot of marks tonight, but Swans with an advantage of 5, an advantage of 7 in the kicks, so fairly even there. Go down to handballs. St Kilda way in front, almost, well, it is 38 more handballs. Free kicks fairly even, 23 to 28. So overall, St Kilda having a lot of possessions, more possessions in the game than South, but not using the ball to the